And hello again from Fox News in Washington. The November election is still 5 months away, and we won't have official party nominees to the national conventions in July. But forget the formalities, because the general election battle between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is on. In a few minutes, we'll talk with one of Trump's top supporters, potential running mate, and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich. But first, Clinton is looking to wrap up her primary battle with Bernie Sanders with a victory in California's primary Tuesday. This weekend, I spoke with the head of the Clinton campaign, John Podesta. John, how important is California? If Bernie Sanders wins there, doesn't he have every good reason to go on to the Democratic convention in July?
Well, California is important, and that's why Hillary is crisscrossing the state, and we are fighting to win here. But the reality is that she's gotten 3 million more votes than Senator Sanders, and that she has now 270 pledged delegate lead on him. We expect that to either be the same or maybe expand by a little bit. We've got other elections over the weekend in Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. We've got New Jersey and some other states next Tuesday. So we think we're going to come out of Tuesday night with the delegates we need for her to be the first woman nominee on a major party ticket in the United States. So we're looking forward to that.
But I guess the key question is this: whether or not, at that point, whether he wins or loses California, Sanders should drop out. As you well know, there have been plenty of candidates over the years, Ted Kennedy, Gary Hart come to mind, who have in effect lost the nomination. Their opponent has clinched it, and they stay in the race either to try to flip unbound delegates or to try to push their policies. Why shouldn't Bernie Sanders do that all the way to the convention?
Well, we're not telling Bernie Sanders what to do. He needs to make his own mind up about that. What we're saying is that she will have the delegates to be the nominee. We're going to do everything we can to reach out, to appeal to his supporters, to appeal to his campaign and to him directly. And we want to bring this party together because the country faces a major threat in Donald Trump. And we hope that he will join us. He's been out there saying that he wants to work 7 days a week to stop Donald Trump. And, we hope that starting as soon as possible that he will go ahead and fulfill that commitment and work with us to make sure that he's a successful candidate in November.
All right, let's turn to the general election, and let me put up some numbers. The Real Clear Politics average of recent national polls has Clinton leading Trump 43.8% to 42.3%, well within the margin of error. In the swing state of Florida, Clinton leads by just over 2 points. In Ohio, she leads by less than 1.5 points. Question: if Trump is unfit to be president, as Clinton says, why is he running even with her in the national race and in the key swing states?
Well, look, Chris, the general election is just coming into focus. And I think that what we've seen over the last few weeks is that Donald Trump has been able to consolidate Republicans, including Speaker Ryan, who said he would vote for him one day and then had to explain why he disagreed with him when he attacked the ethnicity of a federal judge the next day. But he has consolidated Republicans, and that's led to something of a tightening of the polls. But this has really just begun, and that's why Hillary Clinton on Thursday of this week went to San Diego and really laid out a strong case about why he's unfit, why he does not meet the commander-in-chief test. And what did she use to prove that point? Really his own words, the things he said in this campaign, from being in favor of expanding and proliferating weapons of mass destruction and nuclear weapons, to pulling out of NATO, to offending our allies and supporting dictators around the world. So I think that we're just getting engaged in this race, and I think over the long term, I think people are going to come to see him as not having the temperament to serve as president and commander-in-chief.
Let me pick up on that, because you're certainly right. Clinton took Trump apart on foreign policy this week, and we'll play some of those clips for Newt Gingrich, but he also has been going after her on foreign policy. Here is some of what he has said about her.
Her Libya invasion, the Libya invasion was disgusting. I mean, you know who has the oil? ISIS has the oil.
She mentions that I'll bring us into war. She's the one that wanted to go into Iraq.
She's one of the worst secretaries of state in the history of our country.
John, Trump may be a target-rich environment for Clinton, but isn't Clinton also a target-rich environment for Trump?
Well, Chris, we'll take that fight any day, because I think when President Obama asked her to serve as Secretary of State, she did a terrific job for him. She helped negotiate a deal to reduce nuclear weapons between Russia and the United States, then got the votes in the United States Senate to ratify that agreement. She projected American values across the globe. She did a deal to bring an end to hostilities, to bring an end to the fighting between Hamas and Israel. You know, she's got a strong record to stand on when it comes to the question of Libya, which Trump likes to raise. You know, what were we faced with there? Muammar Gaddafi was about to slaughter thousands and thousands of his own citizens. We were asked by our NATO allies, we were asked by the Arab League to intervene. She recommended that intervention, and it's we still have to work at it, but it was the right decision at the time.
John, and look, we're not going to litigate each one of these in this brief interview, but whether it was voting to go into Iraq, whether it was agreeing with Obama to pull all of our troops out of Iraq, whether it was the intervention in Libya, which has led to a failed state and the expansion of ISIS there, whether it's Benghazi or the reset in Russia. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have answers to all of those, but there's going to be plenty for him to criticize on her record, too.
Well, I think what he likes to do is demean and name call. But as I said, if we get into a serious debate about who has the values, the experience, the temperament to be commander-in-chief, that is a debate I'm sure we're going to win. And I think, again, if you look at the things he says, they're incoherent and they're dangerous.
Then there is ethics, and Clinton went after Trump this week on the delayed donation to the veterans, also on Trump University, and again we're going to play those clips and ask Newt Gingrich about them. But Trump also has gone after Clinton on ethics. Here he is.
They were crooked with Whitewater. They've been crooked from the beginning. You look at that foundation. It's pure theft and pure crookedness. She broke federal law by putting her emails on a secret private server that foreign countries could easily get to and hack.
Now, again, I agree with you that Trump is going to have plenty to answer for, but given all of her issues, isn't it going to be hard for Clinton to play the ethics card against Trump?
I think the card we're going to play against Trump is that he has always been for himself. He's a self-aggrandizer at the expense of literally thousands of people. And when it comes to Trump University, what we learned this week was even his own employees called it a fraudulent scheme. It was an unaccredited institution. He bilked and milked elderly people, people who's had small savings. They told people to max out on their credit cards. And I think when you look at Hillary's record, she's said that, for example, on the email question, she said it was a mistake. She's apologized for it. We're trying to put that in some context. But you look at Trump's record as a business person, as what he's done in terms of never making a positive difference for people. I think we'll match her record, a lifetime of effort, trying to help people from the day she left law school, trying to help children, trying to help women, trying to help families. We'll match that up against his.
Now, Trump says this week, if the Justice Department doesn't indict Clinton on the emails that you just mentioned, and he becomes president, he is going to ask his attorney general to look into the case. Here he is.
Hillary Clinton has to go to jail, okay? She has to go to jail. Has to go.
Your reaction?
He's full of bluster. I think that, we're anxious, obviously, for this case to wrap up. She said that she would be happy to talk to the department so that it would wrap up. But, we'll see more of this. It's what Trump does. It's what he's done for more than a year and probably for his whole career. He tries to bully people, tries to knock them down with bluster. But, we feel when all is said and done, what she's offering, the positive direction that she's offering, the ability to bring people together, to create an inclusive economy that's going to work for the middle class against his bluster, we're looking forward to that fight.
John Podesta. John, thank you for your time this weekend, and please come back.
I appreciate it, Chris, and I'm happy to.
Up next.